Okay, so today we're going deep, like really deep,
Yeah.
into this concept of Christ's unfailing love.
Okay.
And specifically, we're looking at this sermon. It's called Christ's Unfailing Love for Us, and it's by Apostle John Esaias Moore.
I love that title, Christ's Unfailing Love for Us.
It's pretty powerful.
It's a good one.
I mean, most people have heard about this idea before.
Right.
But this sermon, I think it takes it a step further.
Yeah, it's not just your typical feel-good kind of love. I mean, it gets into some really...
It gets deep.
Yeah.
So like right off the bat,
Yeah.
the sermon, it doesn't just say that like God has love.
Right.
It says God is love.
That's right. Like, it's not just something he has. It's like, it's his essence.
Yeah.
Like his fundamental nature.
Which is pretty mind-blowing if you think about it, right?
It is, because
Then.
it kind of redefines what we even think of as love.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
It's not just like a fleeting emotion.
Exactly.
It's like a fundamental force
Yeah.
of the universe.
Yeah, like a building block of reality itself.
Yeah, totally.
And, if you think about it that way,
Yeah.
it has some pretty big implications.
Like what kind of implication?
Well, I mean, for us. Yeah, for us, for how we understand the world.
Okay.
Like, if love is at the very heart of creation, then that changes everything, doesn't it?
Right, yeah.
Like, it's not just some nice sentiment. It's woven into the fabric of existence.
Totally, and that's where I think that verse from Romans comes in. The one that Apostle Moore uses. He says, while we were still sinners, Christ died for us.
Powerful verse.
Yeah, it's like, to me, it really drives home the point.
Yeah.
That this love, it's not something we earn.
It's not conditional.
It's not like we have to be good enough.
Nope, it's just there.
It just is,
It's a gift.
Right, exactly.
And it's a gift that we don't deserve.
Right, and it's like that changes everything about how we understand our relationship with God, right?
Absolutely.
It's not about what we do, it's about who he is.
Exactly, and who we are in relation to him.
Right.
Like, we are loved, regardless.
Okay, so that's like the foundation, right?
Yeah.
But then how does this love actually show up in our life? Like, how do we experience it?
Well, the sermon lays out 4 ways, and they're all pretty amazing.
Okay, what are they?
He calls them creation, redemption, providence, and presence.
Those are big words.
They are, but they're actually pretty simple when you break them down.
Okay, so let's break them down.
All right, so starting with creation.
All right.
The sermon argues that, like, the very fact that we exist, that this whole universe exists, is like the first and most fundamental expression of God's love.
So just by being alive, we're experiencing that love.
Exactly. We don't have to do anything to earn it.
Right.
It's just there from the beginning.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
It is.
And then what about redemption?
Redemption.
What does that mean in this context?
So this is all about Jesus, right?
Okay.
That's his sacrifice on the cross.
Okay.
The sermon really digs into this idea that Jesus' death wasn't just some random event.
Right.
It was this deliberate act of love, like this incredible sacrifice.
To save us.
To save us, yeah, and to bridge the gap between humanity and God.
Okay, so it's like, it's more than just forgiveness of sins. Right?
It is. It's about restoring our relationship with God.
Like making things right.
Exactly. And it's not just about our individual relationships with God. It's about restoring harmony to all of creation.
Wow. So it's like a cosmic act of love.
Exactly.
Okay. That's pretty huge.
It is.
Okay. So we've got creation, redemption. What about providence?
Providence, yeah.
What's that all about?
So think about those times in your life when you felt lost or uncertain.
Oh, yeah.
But somehow things worked out.
Like it felt like a miracle almost.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
The sermon says that's not just luck. It's evidence of God's loving hand guiding us, even when we can't see it.
Okay, that's a nice thought, right?
It is.
Like even when we mess up, even when we make bad choices.
God's still there.
Yeah, he's still looking out for us.
Always looking out for us, trying to guide us back to him.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got creation, redemption, providence, and then what was the last one?
Presence.
Presence, right?
This one's all about the idea that God is with us.
Like all the time.
All the time. Yeah, not just in some abstract way, but like in a real, tangible way.
Okay.
He's present in our joys, our sorrows, like even the little everyday moments.
So it's not just about believing in some distant God.
No.
It's about experiencing that love in our lives.
Exactly. In the here and now.
Okay, yeah. I can see how all of that ties together.
It's a beautiful picture, isn't it?
It is. It's like, it's almost overwhelming when you think about it, you know?
It is a lot to take in.
Like all this love just surrounding us.
It's a powerful truth. And, you know, the sermon doesn't just stop at describing God's love. It also talks about our response to it.
Oh, right. Like, what are we supposed to do with all this love?
Exactly.
Okay, so what does the sermon say?
Well, it calls for worship, obedience, and service.
Okay, so that sounds kind of like rules, right?
Yeah, it could sound that way, but the sermon frames it differently.
How so?
It presents these things not as obligations, but as natural outpourings of a heart that's filled with gratitude.
Okay, so it's not about blindly following rules.
No, it's about living in a way that reflects the love we've received.
Like a natural response to being loved.
Exactly.
That makes a lot more sense.
Think about it. Like, how do you act towards someone you love deeply?
Yeah.
You naturally want to express that love, right? Through your actions, your words, your choices.
Yeah.
It's the same principle here.
Okay, I get it.
It's not about earning God's love. It's about responding to it.
So, to sum it all up, we've gone deep into this idea of Christ's unfailing love. We've seen how it's woven into the fabric of creation.
Right.
How it's demonstrated through redemption, providence, and presence.
All connected.